into it because they don't have the power to strike down a bad law, but they can send a message to bigots that you can't hide behind the law when race is your motivating factor.
All right. Anahita, you have told us repeatedly this trial is not about stand your ground, but Shagun is saying stand your ground plays into the psychology of what happened here.
Of course it does. But Dr. Drew, race should not be injected in a trial when someone's on trial for murder. And quite frankly, the people that are actually looking into the racial makeup of the jurors and trying to imply that jurors will vote based on the color of their skin, I think that is so insulting, because the fact is jurors do the right thing, okay? Of course they bring in their own life experiences into that jury box. Of course they do. But at the end of the day, they base their decision based on the facts and evidence that are presented to them in that courtroom.
Well,
so I think it's really insulting.
Ali, I no doubt Miss Ali will
based on the color of skin.
Maybe insulting, but I'm sure Miss Ali has a different opinion. And then Ann, I'll give you a chance to respond to Miss.
And such a lie.
Drew.
But hold on, Anahita, you have to hold that thought. I got to go to break, Anahita. I know you're gonna tell us how it looks from the courtroom point of view. But Miss Ali has a point here. We just saw Nancy becoming apoplectic because of the kinds of questions that were coming out of the deliberation room and the fact that it was taking so long. To all of us looking at this, it looks like, well, this should be easy. But we have the Anahitas in the world to defend these guys, so she'll get a chance to talk to us about what that looks like.
Those darn defense attorneys.
We are on verdict watch for this loud music murder trial, as it is called. Anahita, do you agree with that, or what's your view from inside as a defense attorney?
You couldn't be more wrong. Okay, Dr. Drew, you're asking, why is it taking them so long? We talked about this in the makeup room. But taking so long, I mean, these jurors are basically deciding whether or not this man spends the rest of his life in jail. So, of course, they need to deliberate. They're doing exactly what we want them to do as jurors. They're asking questions. They're asking to review evidence. That's exactly what we want, both on the prosecution side and on the defense side. And quite frankly, we can't even read into, some of their questions. Oh, why are they asking this question? Why are they asking that question? Because it could be just one of those jurors asking that question. We don't know. It could be one juror, two jurors.
Speaking of defense, I've got John Phillips. He's
Thank goodness that the jury is sequestered. Dr. Drew, thank goodness that the jury is sequestered in this case, because I really don't understand what the purpose of Mr. Phillips. I understand he's an advocate for the family of the victim, but why would you release that interview into the public when you know this is such a high-profile case? It is racially charged. Why would you release that video at the time when these jurors are deliberating?
So the truth could get out?
Because they're sequestered. And did you hear what Mr. Strolla said about my clients? These young boys, he got on there and...
Will you two ladies march with us in Florida? There's no such thing as a cut-and-dry
case ever in the law, Dr. Drew. And I think all of us are just rushing to conclusion.
Will you ladies march with us if it's not found guilty? If he's not found guilty, well, can we all collectively go to Florida and march and do something?
No, because not being found guilty does not mean that justice did not take place.
No, but I just love the fact that...
Not guilty
I love the fact that there are two black
case.
people on TV, 3 white people on TV. We all think he's guilty. You don't.
Yes.
I want us all to march, Rainbow Coalition, and change the law in Florida.
Terrible.
I'm not marching, and I'm not
I'm not white, first of all, Shagun.
Ain't no
and
black
I'm not
in the
making
rainbow.
my judgments based on the color of my skin. I'm basing it on the facts and evidence that were presented. As far
I was talking
as
about
understand
Jenny
those
and Ann and Dr. Drew, not you, Anahita. I know what you are, Anahita.
Okay, then you're excused, Shagun.
I'm not going to make a commitment if I can't live up to it, but I will. But Anahita, would I get in big trouble for that? Does this guy have a liability?
You could, absolutely. And I remember hearing your wife's story, and that is so disgusting. So, of course, we're going to be like, oh, yay, he took matters into his own hands. But this guy could face assault charges. So, although you think he's a hero, you probably shouldn't take the law into your own hands. He should have called the police, taken a picture of his license plate.
Well, we did all that. Nothing happened. So is it worth it to take the risk for those assault charges? Is that enough of a liability to take on to get this guy to stop in front of your kids?
Yes.
Well, yeah, it depends.
Absolutely.
I mean,
by the way,
if you don't want a criminal record,
sends.
if he was going to harm your kid, then absolutely knock him out. You could probably even argue self-defense, defense of others.
Tiffany says
but he does face
Absolutely.
assault
Like, I don't
Wendy says no.